الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن سار على سبيله إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. So today inshallah that we are intending to start a new lesson, and this subject is on the topic of Aqidah. So we'll be hoping to start a new lesson, a new book regarding concerning Islamic studies, and the particular book that we'll be studying is one of the books in Aqidah. And the book that we have chosen to study is the book that is available in English, but also a book of the ulama of the past, and the book is referred to or titled the Aqidah, as in this book, the Creed of Imam Ibn Abi Zayd Al-Qayrawani, one of the ulama of Qayrawan, that is in the region of Tunis today. So we'll be studying concerning what he has mentioned regarding some points relating to Aqidah. But before we go into studying this book, that we want to have this first session to be one of an introductory. So one will be of an introduction regarding this particular science concerning Aqidah. So this is one of the important science of Aqidah, one of the important cells of Islam, but also as we know there's many other sciences in Islam. But regarding studying concerning Aqidah, then there are certain guidelines, there are certain things that one should be mindful of in studying concerning Aqidah. So we'll be trying to discuss concerning what is mentioned what is mentioned in contemporary time regarding in studying of Aqidah, that will have an introduction to the science, and that they refer to as concerning al-madkhal ila ilm al-Aqidah. So they refer to this particular introductory points as titled Al-Madkhal, with a form of introduction regarding matters pertaining to Aqidah. So it's a person giving certain guidelines, giving certain rules and regulation that one should be mindful of in studying Aqidah. So the person have set rules that are in place so as to keep the person focused and on track regarding studying concerning Aqidah. So regarding concerning this, that we'll find several books of some of the ulama of contemporary times who have written regarding this matter, which is a form of introduction regarding the science of studying Aqidah. So we'll start this particular lesson today on this regarding this area, regarding some of those things that one should be mindful of, one should be aware of in studying concerning Aqidah. So as we mentioned, the book to be studied eventually is the book by Ibn Abi Zayd Al-Qayrawani rahimahullah. And before we go into that book or studying that book, we'll also have an introduction to the book regarding discussing the author, discussing points relating to the book. But before this, we'll go into the introduction regarding ilm al-Aqidah. So regarding the science of Aqidah, there are certain things that one should be mindful of in studying concerning Aqidah, especially in a time when you find people who are attacking the Aqidah to Salaf. So for the person studying Aqidah and want to to master this topic, then there are certain things that one should be mindful of. So regarding these matters, as we mentioned, it can be said to be an introduction to ilm al-Aqidah, al-madkhal ila ilm al-Aqidah. The first of those things I will cover, for example, points that relates to what is Aqidah. So we'll study concerning points relating to what is Aqidah. We'll study points regarding asma, ilm al-Aqidah. What are the other names that are sometimes used regarding ilm al-Aqidah? So other names that are used regarding in reference to Aqidah. Also we discuss concerning Fadlul Ilm al-Aqidah, what's the virtue wa amniyat and the importance of studying concerning Aqidah. Also we'll cover concerning Mawdu'at Ilm al-Aqidah, what are the topics that are covered in studying Aqidah. Also we discuss concerning the alaqa, what is the relationship between the science of Aqidah and also other Islamic science, what's the relationship between Aqidah and Hadith, what's the relationship between Aqidah and Usul al-Fiqh and the likes. So those are things to be covered. Also we discuss concerning what's the hukum regarding studying and teaching Aqidah. What's the hukum in studying and teaching Aqidah? So also we cover that topic as a part of this introduction. Also we also then study concerning what are some of the tariq, what's the history regarding books being compiled or books being written regarding this topic of Aqidah. What are some of the early books and the different works that are available regarding Aqidah. And so those are of those things that some of the points to be covered. Also of those points regarding al-masadir al-talaqi. So in a person who wishes to study Aqidah, what are the sources, the reference sources Islamic reference sources that are used regarding Aqidah. So the person in studying Aqidah, where do we look regarding where can we find the evidence? And what are these sources that one should refer back to in studying Aqidah? And also we discussed concerning some other points regarding matters pertaining to Aqidah. So this is the introduction regarding this study. So of the first of those things that we mentioned, what is meant by Aqidah? What is meant concerning studying Aqidah? So regarding concerning the ulama, who are some of those of the ba'ithin, some of those who have researchers, and those of the mashaykh who have written on this particular topic, that they will mention regarding first, what is meant by Aqidah, lughatan wa istilahan, what is meant by Aqidah regarding linguistically, and also the meaning of Aqidah by way of this as a science in Islam. So they mention regarding concerning that Aqidah, regarding concerning that what is meant by this, regarding concerning that at times that Aqidah is concerning a matter which is hukum al-dhahni al-jazim, where a person might have a firm belief about a matter. In general, at times that firm belief that a person may take on may be something which is sahih, haqqun, it is something which is correct, and at times it is batil, it is incorrect, it is invalid. But those are also, but it is based upon, those things are weighed based upon another liqiyam al-hujja wal-burhan. So that is, the person can critique this based upon the evidence that is put forward regarding whether these things are valid or invalid. So that's concerning in general regarding matters relating to Aqidah. At times, Aqidah of the person can be sound, and at times the person Aqidah can be invalid, can be one which is incorrect based upon the sources that the person uses as to come to those conclusions. So regarding concerning Aqidah, what is intent regarding concerning Aqidah, that they mention regarding concerning this matter, that the linguistic meaning go back to concerning al-rabt, or back to concerning shidda, readings shidda bil quwwa, something being very firm, rabt, something that is knotted or binded together. So those are the meaning regarding concerning matters pertaining to, as I said, the asl of the word aqada, which means things concerning al-aqada, that will mean at times shid or shidda, al-rabt. So shidda means something is firm, very strong. Rabt, something is bonded, tied together. And also al-jazm, where something that the person that have a firm determination or firm will. So that's concerning of those meaning linguistically regarding Aqidah, which is the asl word, the asl of the word go back to aqada. The asl of the word goes back to aqada, which takes those meaning linguistically and other meaning, ahkam, thabat, and those meaning that also that is mentioned regarding the meaning of aqada linguistically. As for now, what is discussed concerning Aqidah according to the ulama of the Sharia. So regarding concerning as a science within the Sharia, regarding as to what is intended, you have several meanings that are given. So several meaning, and in this particular case that we're giving concerning the meanings or the meaning according to Ahlus Sunnah Wal Hadith, Ahlus Sunnah Wal Hadith, regarding concerning how they defined as to what is the science of Aqidah or Aqidah. So Aqidah al-Islamiyya as-Sahiha, so we discuss concerning al-Manhaj كما جاء في كتاب والسنة الصحيحة. So we're discussing concerning what is defined as Aqidah al-Islamiyya as-Sahiha, that is taken from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also from the Sunnah, the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salam, and also Ijma' al-Salaf. So what is meant by this Aqidah? That of those, of the definition, you have different, several definitions are given. Of those ones that I mentioned regarding ما يشد ويربط الإنسان قلبه عليه. So what is mentioned? ما should, ما يشد. So what the person is the person of a firm grasp. The person also is linked. The person's heart is linked to this and attached to this. من أصول الإيمان, from matters pertaining to the أصول الإيمان, from the foundation, the fundamental teaching of Iman. وما يلحق بها, and also those things that are attached to it. So that's concerning what is mentioned as the definition of Aqidah. So regarding concerning Aqidah al-Islami as-Sahiha, what is meant concerning the person having a strong belief and the person is attached to that belief in his heart, min usul al-iman, from the fundamental teachings of iman, and also ma yulhaq biha, and those things that are attached to it, So that's concerning the meaning of aqidah. Others have given concerning another meaning that is said, they define aqidah as aqidah al-iman al-jazim, the person having a firm belief billah, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa malakati, and also his angels, wa kutubi, and also his books, wa rusuli, and his messengers, wa bil yawm al-akhir, and the last days, wal qadar khayrihi wa sharrihi, and qadar is good and is bad. And it mentioned wal iman bi kulli ma jaa bihi fil kitab wa sunnah as-sahiha, and those matters that pertains to i'tiqad that have been mentioned by way of the book and the sunnah. So that's concerning aqidah as others have defined it. So those are of the meaning concerning aqidah. So aqidah is concerning an important aspect concerning a deen. So when the ulama mention concerning as al-aqidah fi deen, aqidah in relationship to the deen is regarding concerning matters relating to i'tiqad, matters relating to the person's belief, not per se including matters of the person's action. So aqidah is regarding the person's belief, how the person perceive certain things as outlined in Islam. This is aqidah. So as we mentioned concerning that matter relating to aqidah, that they revolve around things which are considered to be usul al-deen, matter that pertain to the usul of the deen, the foundation of the deen regarding al-iman as-sit, that relates to belief in Allah, His angels, His books, the prophets, the day of judgment, and also al-qadr. Those are considered to be usul ad-din or usul al-iman or arkan al-iman as-sit. And also, as mentioned, ma yulhaq biha, other things that are also included. So you have other things that are included, of those other things that are also included in a discussion regarding matters concerning aqidah, that ulama also include concerning one, al-masadir al-talaqi wa turq al-istinbat, how the person, what are the sources of reference that are used in relation to matters of aqidah, and the way and the system the person go about understanding aqidah. So that's concerning talaqi wal istinbat, how the person, what are the sources that he refer back to, and also what are the rules that he follows regarding how to understand matters of aqidah. Of those things that will be included in matters of in aqidah, in the subject of aqidah, will be also the mawqif of the Sahaba regarding the person, position and stance regarding the Sahaba. So regarding concerning as-Sahaba, and we'll discuss that further, but generally concerning the Sahaba, who are the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, what's our view and take on the Sahaba. Also regarding concerning al-imama, regarding concerning that the Muslim leaders, those in authority, regarding the role how one sees the concerning karamat, al-awliya, what's concerning things that have pious, things of outside the norms that are done by righteous people. And also wala wal bara, matters relating to love and hate, also that is included regarding aqidah, and also including aqidah regarding rad al-mukhalif, also refuting those who have deviated, so those people who have different views, then refuting of those views and correcting those different incorrect views, and also those things that will be discussed concerning aqidah regarding of those matters. So those of those matters, and also at times the ulama will include in the books of aqidah concerning ma yanbaghi ittisaf bihi min jamil al-akhlaq. Also in aqidah discussing, including concerning the person's character. So of those things that are also at times included in books of aqidah, matters as by way of extension, that also the person who possesses a correct aqidah, also it should be seen in the person's conduct and behavior. So that's concerning وَمُحَاسِنَ الْعَادَاتِ, and a person also upon upright, good ways and conduct. So those are some of those things that are discussed concerning Bab al-Aqidah in general. So regarding concerning that also with Aqidah, Masail al-Aqidah, so we'll go to concerning that after discussing concerning what is Aqidah. So as for the science, Ilm Aqidah, it is defined as Ismun, Alam, as a sign regarding this science. It is Ilm الذي يتناول تقرير أصول الإيمان وما يلحق بها من مسائل. So as a science, it is referred to or defined as a science regarding Ilm Aqidah, that this is a science that will discuss matters pertaining the confirmation of the usul al-iman, and what is included in this, as we just covered, of other masail that is included, and also bayan manhaj istidlal, and also to clarify the way to understand these points, and also rad ala mukhalifin, and also refuting those who have deviated. So that's concerning the science itself. So we to cover those areas, that is to taqrir al-masail al-iman, for them to establish the fundamental teachings of iman, also, and those things that are included, and also clarifying regarding the sources that are used regarding Aqidah, and also how to understand the tools to use to understand Aqidah correctly, and also added to this would be the ways to refute those who have corrupted ideas. So that's concerning as a science. The next of those points is regarding asma ilm al-aqidah. So regarding concerning other names that are used as synonyms regarding aqidah. So regarding synonyms, other names that are at times used regarding and to define aqidah. So you find many names that are used regarding this matter, and we intend regarding concerning this matter regarding we wish to discuss concerning tariqat al-istidlal as-sahiha, the correct way to understand aqidah and confirming the usul al-iman and those things that are included, and also, as we mentioned, and also in refuting al-bidah, in refuting concerning al-mukhalifin. So also as for Ahlus Sunnah ala manhaj salaf, so in matters pertaining to aqidah and the science, in taking the path and the ways of the Salaf al-Salih, that aqidah at times is referred to, as we mentioned, concerning that aqidah is of those terms that are used. And aqidah, by way of it include concerning that this term is used, aqidah, by way it will include concerning matter that relates to at-tawheed, and also matter that relates to al-iman. So when the word aqidah is used, then it will include concerning matters pertaining to tawheed and usul al-iman, and also matters concerning usul al-iman. So that's concerning matters pertaining to, and those other things that are covered regarding Sahaba and the likes. Of books that have been written that takes that name. So books that have been written that will carry that name of Aqidah, or include the word Aqidah. Of those works that are present is the work of Ibn Abi Hatim, or Ibn Hatim al-Razi, and it is called Usul al-Sunnah wa Ittiqad al-Din. Usul al-Sunnah wal Ittiqad al-Din. So that's a name that includes the word Aqidah being used, which is from Ittiqad, from Aqada. Also Ittiqad Ahlus Sunnah li Ismaili, li Abu Bakr Ismaili, who died 371. So concerning Ibn Abi Hatim al-Razi, that al-Razi, that is 277. Al-Ismaili 381. And also another book, a third book, is the book that is titled Aqidat al-Salaf Ashab al-Hadith by As-Sabuni. So by As-Sabuni, and As-Sabuni died 449 al-Hijri. So those are names related to use of the word Aqidah. Other time they will use the word in explaining concerning matters concerning Aqidah. The word also that is used at Tawheed. So at times they will refer to Aqidah as at Tawheed. And that concern the word Tawheed is used by way of, goes back to concerning the asl of the Islam, which is Ifradullah subhanahu wa ta'ala bi Tawheedi, is single to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding those things that are His rights, regarding Ar-Rububiyyah wa Asma wa Sifat. And so that's concerning, so those are of those things that will be included in the study of Aqidah, where a person will study concerning matter relating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's concerning of the Ashraf, they mean concerning the most noblest of things that the person will study in the bab of Aqidah regarding matters pertaining to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and those things befitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So of books that have taken the name Tawheed in relation to the subject of Aqidah, then you find of those books that carry that name, that you find that Imam Bukhari rahimahullah in his Sahih, or in his Jami' al-Sahih, that he has a chapter, one of the books that is called Kitab al-Tawheed. That's Imam Bukhari rahimahullah. Also you find books that are specific on these topics. It's concerned Kitab al-Tawheed wa Ithbat al-Sifat al-Rab. Kitab al-Tawheed wa Ithbat Sifat al-Rabb. And that's a book by Al-Imam Ibn Khuzaymah. So Imam Ibn Khuzaymah, and Ibn Khuzaymah rahimahullah, he died 311, died 311 al-Hijri, and this book is in print, and it is titled Kitab al-Tawheed wa Ithbat Sifat al-Rabb, that discuss concerning, that carry the name Kitab al-Tawheed. Another book that is referred to as Tawheed, that is Kitab al-Tawheed by Muhammad Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah tabarak ta'ala. So Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab as a book, and he died 1206 al-Hijri, that he wrote a book called Kitab al-Tawheed. The bulk of the book that he covered concerning matter that relates to al-Tawheed, but also some other subjects are included, or topics are included. Third of those names that are used, al-Iman. The third of those names that are used, that is synonymous to al-Aqidah, is al-Iman. So the relationship, or why the word Iman is used, that the ulama, they use the word al-Iman in reference to matters of Aqidah, by way of concerning that, by way of what is outlined, the hadith of Jibreel alayhi salam. So what is outlined regarding concerning the hadith of Jibreel, when he asked concerning Akhbarni an al-Iman, or ma al-Iman, what is Iman? Then the Prophet alayhi salam, he went on to explain concerning what is Iman, and to include concerning belief in Allah, His angel, His books, His prophet, till those things that are mentioned. So it outlined regarding the usul of Iman. So concerning Iman, and that hadith of Jibreel outlined concerning those fundamental principles and things that a person should believe in regarding what is said to be al-Iman. So of books that have been written with that title of al-Iman in relation to matters concerning Aqidah, that you find concerning the book of Kitab al-Iman. And this is by Al-Imam Abi Ubayd Al-Qasim ibn As-Salam. Abu Ubayd ibn As-Salam. And he died 224 al-Hijri. He died 224 al-Hijri. The second of those books, Kitab al-Iman, also by Ibn Abi Shaybah. So Ibn Abi Shaybah rahimahullah, that died 325, also wrote a book, small thesis, regarding matters pertaining to al-Iman. And also others, Kitab al-Iman, another title that is used by Ibn Manda. So Ibn Manda, that died 395 al-Hijri, that he wrote a book that also in print, that discussed concerning matters of Aqidah, but is titled Kitab al-Iman. Those are the early books, and you have others, but those are just some examples. Another word that is used regarding Aqidah, as in relation to Aqidah, is sometimes used as Sunnah. So regarding the term as Sunnah, at times is used in relation to matters pertaining to the topic of Aqidah, or the subject of Aqidah. So of those, and meaning concerning as Sunnah, those things concerning that the Muslim that he should be upon, regarding, as Elias mentioned, alaykum bi sunnati, that a Muslim should be upon a Sunnah. And of those things that will be first in line regarding of the Sunnah is the person upon the Prophet Islam Sunnah, the Prophet Islam teaching based upon his belief, based upon one's belief. So as mentioned, and as Elias mentioned, some ma kana alayhi, or concerns that mentioned alaykum bi sunnati, alaykum bi sunnati. So of those Sunnah in relation to matters of Aqidah, having the correct Aqidah. And of the ulama who have reused this name regarding of the early ulama, that use the word a lot regarding Aqidah, regarding using the word as Sunnah, that you find a lot concerning that Usul Sunnah, the Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who died 2041. Also you find concerning the like of Ibn Abi Asim. So Ibn Abi Asim has a book called As-Sunnah, Kitab al-Sunnah by Ibn Abi Asim, and he died 287 al-Hijri. And also Sarih al-Sunnah, Sarih al-Sunnah by Ibn Jarir al-Tabari. So Imam Ibn Jarir al-Tabari al-Mufassir, who died 310 al-Hijri, that he titled a book in Aqidah called Sarih al-Sunnah. So you find others also, you find the like of the son of Ahmed, who is Abdullah Ibn Ahmed, Abdullah Ibn Ahmed, that he wrote a book As-Sunnah. He wrote a book also called As-Sunnah, also Al-Khalal in his book As-Sunnah, and also Al-Athram also has a book Sunnah. So all those books are referred to as Sunnah, but they discuss concerning matters relating to Aqidah. Another term that is used at Ahlus Sunnah is the term Usul al-Din. Usul ad-Din. So the word Usul ad-Din also is used at times in relation to Aqidah. And Usul ad-Din is used regarding concerning the asas. So the asas of the Muslim, the fundamental teaching of the Muslim is regarding, and what the Muslims stand for is regarding concerning, as I mentioned, ma yakum alayhi ad-din. Those things the person is deen is established upon. And of those things that a person deen is established upon is regarding Aqidah. So the person having a sound Aqidah regarding matters relating to his belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the usul al-Iman. Of books that have been given that title regarding Usul ad-Din, of those books, Al-Ibana and Usul ad-Diyana. Al-Ibana and Usul ad-Diyana by Abi Hassan Al-Ash'ari. Abi Hassan Al-Ash'ari, who died 324. So Abu Hassan Al-Ash'ari, that he wrote a book, Al-Ibana and Usul al-Diyana, that clarifies concerning points relating to Aqidah. And of this, the book that I saw those books that he wrote later in his life to clarify some of the, that refute some of the ideas that he had before. So this concerning of his latter books, clarifying what he believed in close to his death. Then it mentioned regarding which, then it mentioned also other books regarding concerning Ashar wal-Ibana and Usul al-Sunnah wal-Diyana by Ibn Battah al-Ukbari. So Ibn Battah al-Ukbari, rahimahullah, who died 387 al-Hijri, also have a book. So Ashar wal-Ibana and Usul al-I'tiqad, Usul al-Sunnah wal-Diyana, that's like a muqtasar. So he has, as we mentioned, that Ibn Battah, that he has like two books, a book that goes into many volumes that outline concerning matters concerning Aqidah. Some of it is in print. And then also did a muqtasar, a summary that he referred to as Shar wal-Ibana, which is a very important book regarding Aqidah. Then also you have Al-Burhan fi Usul al-Din, Burhan fi Usul al-Din by Ibn al-Hanbali. So Ibn al-Hanbali, also who died 536 al-Hijri, that also wrote a book that he referred to as Burhan fi Usul al-Din, which is a clarifier concerning points and matters relating to Aqidah. So these are some of the, and also names, also other names that are used as Sharia by, also is a term that is used in relation to Aqidah. So of those terms that is used in relation to Aqidah, as Sharia. So as Sharia, in most part, when the word is used regarding Ahkam al-Amaliyah. So when a person uses the word as Sharia, that in most part it is regarding concerning that the person, regarding concerning halal and haram, regarding halal and haram, regarding which relate to the person's actions and the things that are done by the person's action. But at times the ulama have used the word as Sharia in relation to matters relating to I'tiqad. So so that's concerning that they use the word as Sharia, but we have concerning that it is concerning of the Aqidah. It is the one which is first that the person need to get correct regarding a Sharia, regarding his understanding of his belief, having the correct understanding regarding matters pertaining to belief. So a Sharia, in that sense, regarding of those things, Sharah Allah ala ibadihi, of those things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have legislated upon his servants, that is also including matters relating to Aqidah. And also those things which is Tawafaq alayhi al-Anbiya, of those things that are Anbiya, that they were all in agreement with. So that's concerned that they form that the peak of the Sharia. So of books that are at times referred to as Sharia, of names that have been used in the area, the study of Aqidah, that they use the word Ash-Sharia by Al-Ajuri. So Imam Al-Ajuri, that he wrote a book, Ash-Sharia, that come in many volumes, and Al-Ajuri, that he died 360. Imam Ajuri, he died 360 Al-Hijri. And also, as we mentioned, that Ibn Battah Al-Ukbari, that he has a book, Al-Ibana and Sharia Fiqat al-Najiyah. So he have a book that is called Al-Ibana and Sharia Fiqat al-Najiyah, where he discussed concerning the Aqidah, clarify the Aqidah regarding the belief of Fiqat al-Najiyah, save group, the save sect. So that's concerning, and he mentioned Mujanibat Fiqatun Madmuma, and for the person to avoid those groups that are misguided. So that's concerning of books that are written regarding, that are titled Sharia, but they discuss concerning matters of Aqidah. And finally, of those books are other synonyms that are used regarding Aqidah, Fiqh al-Akbar. So Al-Fiqh al-Akbar. And regarding concern that, as we mentioned, regarding concerning that, we have concerned the word fiqh that sometimes is used regarding, again, halal and haram. But concerns of the ulama, they concerned that they separate or divide fiqh into two categories. Fiqh al-Akbar, that relates to Aqidah, or Fiqh al-Asghar, which is matter regarding al-Furu', which is concerning that matter relating to the Furu' of the Sharia, the Ahkam of the Sharia. So that's concerning Fiqh al-Akbar, and it is stated or attributed that Imam Abu Hanifa rahimullah, that he wrote a book called Fiqh al-Akbar that relates to matters of Aqidah. That book is in print, but there's a lengthy discussion and the more correct view that this book is not the writing of Abu Hanifa rahimullah. So it's not the writing of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimullah, but attributed to him. But there's nothing that is sound that attribute this book back to Imam Abu Hanifa, but it's something which is attributed back to him. This book is in print per se. So they're concerned with Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, ala manhaj Salaf al-Salih, that they will use these synonyms in relation to Aqidah. Then you find concerned as for other than them of al-Firaq al-Madhmuma, those other Islamic sects that are there and groups, that they will use the word concerning other terminology that they use ilm al-kalam, falsafa, tasawwuf, and the likes in relation to the study of Aqidah, which is, I said, those terms are not used by Ahlus Sunnah upon the way of the Salaf al-Salih in relation to matters of Aqidah. So they not use the word falsafa, they not use the word tasawwuf, they not use the word concerning ilm al-kalam and the likes. So those terms are generally blameworthy terms with Ahlus Sunnah, but with Ahlul Mukhalifin, that's the terminology that they at times will use in relation to books, relation to matters relating to Aqidah. Next of those things to be covered is regarding concerning Mawdu'at al-Aqidah. When we study concerning Aqidah, what are those things that are included in this subject? So the subject of Aqidah, what are the topics that will be covered? So what would you think that a person will study in Aqidah? For example, when a person study concerning fiqh, then a person know that he will study concerning tahara, salat, the different type of salat, ahkam, as-siyam, was-zakat, ahkam, and nikah. So that's concerning the topics within the subject of fiqh. But as for Aqidah, what will be those topics that will be studied in this in relation to Aqidah? So regarding concern those matters that they revolve regarding umur that is ilahiyah, more matter that relates to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in general, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bin nabuwat, matter that relates to prophethood, and also matter concerning sam'iyat, and matter regarding the unseen, or matters regarding unseen. So generally Aqidah will cover in broad terms, revolve around those areas. As for now, like in detail, that it will cover concerning first Iman Billah and what that will entail. So as an example that will cover concerning that, what is Iman? Arkanul Iman, that Iman increase and decrease, Ziyadul Iman wa Nuqsanul Iman, Masahil, Asma wal Ahkam. So in discuss concerning Iman, that a person will consider Masal Ahkam Al-Asma wal Ahkam regarding referring to a person as being a Muslim or a mu'min or kafir or munafiq. These are matters that relate to Sharia. That matter regarding to Iman, regarding a person is not given such titles or given such name except as intended by the Sharia. As intended by the Sharia. So to call a person a kafir, then a person should be as outlined by the Sharia or by Islamic texts. And a person said to be a Muslim as outlined in the Sharia. So these concerning of those matters are of those things that will be covered. Iman Billah, Iman in the angels, Iman bil kutub, with the books, so malaika, wal kutub, wa Iman bil rusul, Iman bil yawm al akhir, Iman bil qadr, and the different points relating to that, and also things that are included. That will be, as we mentioned, matter relating to the Sahaba, matters regarding what was a Sahaba, and the place of the Sahaba, the status of the Sahaba, the person who abused a Sahaba, what's the ruling on such an act? To abuse and to curse a Sahaba, what's the ruling on that? Also Ahlul Bayt and their hukuk, the Prophet Islam family, and what are their rights, and also including Aqidah by way of things that are extended top things that are included in Aqidah, matter regarding Al-Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy al Munkar, matter regarding Al-Imam Al-Uzma, and his shurut, who is the Imam, what is the shurut of Imam, what's the wajibat of the Imam. So those things, when the Imam can be removed and not to be removed, those things also be included. Also mentioned in Aqidah concerning Karamat Al-Awliya, concerning that righteous are miracles of pious people. Also to be included concerning that Al-Firaq, the different groups, Islamic groups, would be also be discussed. Matters regarding Al-Jinn would be included. Also Wala wal Bara. So you have those things that would be discussed. So I said Al-Jama'at wal-Firaq. So all those different groups so also be included. Regarding Al-Firaq would also be discussed. Who are the different groups from Al-Khawarij, Al-Rafida, Al-Batiniyya, Al-Sufiyya, Wal-Mu'tazila, Asha'ira, Maturidiyya, Murjiyah, Jahmiyya. So those groups will be covered, especially those of past, and also contemporary ones, who are those said to be those who are said to be Brailwi, Diyabandi, Nashqabandi, and all these different groups that are there. So those will be covered to know what are there, what are the things that want us to look out for regarding things that they have deviated in, and also regarding Adyan, regarding different religion, regarding Al-Yahudiyya and the likes, and Nasraniyya, what are those groups, Budiyya. So those things also is covered regarding Adyan. So in a study of Aqidah, that those areas also be studied. And also, as they mentioned, Madahib al-Mu'asira, discussing concerning contemporary groups in our time. Amongst the Muslim, as we mentioned, you have various different groups that are amongst, that are formed and existing and involved concerning in dawah of those groups regarding concerning whether Muslim and non-Muslim. So you have non-Muslim and Muslim. You have concerning that within the Muslim ones and also non-Muslim groups that are present. So those things also be a part of the discussion regarding Aqidah. That's the person. So those are things that will be covered in regarding concerning Aqidah in general. The next of those things in this introduction, that the alaqa, what's the relationship between Aqidah and other science. So we have concerning Aqidah as being one of the science. What's its relationship with the other sciences of Islam? So what's that relationship, and how they're like intertwined. So we'll find that at times certain sciences that they're intertwined. So in the ulama, so it is discussed concerning that that not to study Aqidah and to study from Ahl Bidah is because the various sciences of Islam, they're intertwined. They're linked together. So it is said, and there's a caution and warning about studying with Ahl Bidah, is because the sciences that they intertwine. So not that the person said not to study with them Aqidah, but also not to study with them other sciences, because at times they're interlinked. So Aqidah is linked to other sciences. So regarding concerning different ulum, science of Islam, that and its relationship with Aqidah, so of those regarding Aqidah and its link to Usul al-Fiqh. So you'll find at certain points regarding concerning that of somewhat you find that overlap regarding Usul al-Fiqh and Aqidah, certain points that they overlap. And you find that in Usul al-Fiqh that certain things will overlap regarding concerning of those matters concerning in the chapters or those things that are covered in Usul al-Fiqh concerning al-Masadir, al-Talaqi, what are the sources that a person will use as a reference. The ways of istidlal, or the person come to a conclusion on matters. Asma al-Ahkam, regarding concerning a person concerning the Usul al-Fiqh concerning Asma al-Ahkam, that so some of those things are covered regarding matters, and in Usul al-Fiqh concerning that Takfir al-Mu'ayyan, wa Dawabit, what are the guidelines. So you find out some of those things that they may overlap regarding Usul al-Fiqh. So an Aqidah and Usul al-Fiqh, that they will overlap regarding certain points. Also regarding Al-Tafsir. So second of those sciences that there's an overlap between Aqidah is also Al-Tafsir. So you find that in the books of Tafsir, they find ayat that will discuss concerning matters concerning Aqidah. So there's an overlap. So they overlap. And you find concerning many of the books in Aqidah that they were written by people who are either Mu'tazila and others who somewhat concerning the bab of Asma wa Sifat, that when they are mentioned in the book in the Quran, that they all explain away the meaning. They will explain away the meaning of what is intended. So an overlap, interlink between Aqidah and Tafsir, when they overlap in those areas. Regarding concerning that now Ilm al-Hadith. So regarding concerning Ilm al-Hadith, but we have concern that they overlap regarding concerning Hujiyatul Akhbar Ahad. So regarding concerning Akhbar Ahad or concerning Ahadith al-Ahad, we find concern that Ahadith that are used as that regarding concern that of some that in Aqidah, any hadith that is of that fulfill the criteria of acceptability, qubul, then can be used regarding establishing a point in Aqidah. But some of Ahlul Bidah that I mentioned, that Ahadith Ahad, they are not to be used regarding Aqidah. So certain things that they overlap regarding concerning Adalatul Sahaba, also discuss in Aqidah and also overlap regarding the Ilm al-Hadith. And also look at Arabiya regarding concerning that regarding Dalail al-Alfaz, Fahm al-Alfaz, or the person to understand words, then also display its part regarding Aqidah, as also it overlap with al-Lughat Arabiya. So those are how the Aqidah overlap with other science, and it is linked with other science. So for the person, so there's a clear link regarding Aqidah and other science. So there's a clear link regarding Aqidah and other sciences of Islam. The next concerning Hukum, Ta'allum wa Ta'lim al-Aqidah. The Hukum concerning Ta'allum, the person learning Aqidah. So as we know, concerning that the science of Aqidah is of the science of Islam and also a very important science of Islam. So regarding concerning the ulama, regarding most of the science of Islam, that the Hukum regarding studying them, they fall into two categories. Of those that it is Fardul Ain, thing that one should learn about Islam, including Aqidah. So there's points in Aqidah which is Fardul Ain upon the Muslim and every Muslim to be aware of. And there's points that are Fard Kifaya. There's certain matters relating to Aqidah that is of those things that is rest upon the shoulders of the ulama. It rests upon the shoulders of the ulama wa talabat al-ilm, that they should know the detail of those matters, or they go further in depth in studying of matters concerning Aqidah. So that would be Fard Kifaya, not compulsory, obliged upon every Muslim to know those things, but a group of the Muslims should know those things. And that is the ulama wa talabatul ilm. So to cover those here that we have covered before regarding belief in Allah, His books, His messengers, and the other usul iman and those other points, then it's upon the Muslim that both concerning aspect of those things, which is that they mention that it is ijmali and what tafsili, that the Muslim should have knowledge relating to those matters. So regarding concerning ijmal, regarding having certain basic fundamental beliefs, that upon all the Muslim, what tafsili, those things that goes into more in-depth detail studies, then that goes up, that to refer back to the ulama wa talabatul ilm. So again, concerning matters regarding Aqidah, knowing of it is wajib upon every Muslim. That's the fundamental aspect of the Aqidah. And also regarding matters that are more detailed, that goes back to the ulama wa talabatul ilm. So those points, the ulama refer to those points. So of those things to show the importance of studying concerning and knowing of at least the fundamental foundation regarding Aqidah, that when the su'al concerning, in the su'al in the grave, the question that will be asked in the grave, that will relate to those three things. Man Rabbuk, Man Nabiyyuk, wa ma dinuk, who's your Lord, who's your Prophet, and what's your religion. Those are matters concerning Aqidah. So the person can understand who's your Lord, who's your Prophet that was sent to you, and what he came with, and also what's your religion. Concerning what's your religion, those are the questions to be asked in the grave, the three questions to be asked in the grave. So concerning them, Islam revolves around those three things. Aqidah revolves around those three usul. So regarding those matters, that it is wajib upon a Muslim to have understanding regarding those points. So that's concerning, as we mentioned, regarding hukum ta'allum al-Islam, the ruling regarding studying of Islam. Then as for the ahammiyah, the importance regarding studying of Islam, are the importance of this matter concerning the virtue, fadl wa ammiyat, dirasat al-aqidah, the importance of studying concerning matters of aqidah. Then it can be summarized regarding concerning one. It's the call of all the anbiya to their people. That was the opening. So to concern the center, that is the thing that's said to be awwal wajib, is the first thing that is wajib upon the Muslim, upon mankind, is the first thing which is wajib upon mankind. Regarding that the person knowing his Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the aqidah. And as Islam, he mentioned regarding concerning this matter in the hadith of Mu'adh ibn Jabal, when he was sent to Al-Yaman, the hadith of Ibn Abbas regarding Mu'adh ibn Jabal, when he sent to Yemen, he mentioned, أول ما تدعو إليه شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله. So when Mu'adh radiyallahu anhu was sent to Yemen, of those things that he was, it was explained to him and clarified to him regarding of those things, that the first of those things that you should invite the people to is La ilaha illallah. So it shows regarding the importance, and also regarding hadith, Bunya Islam ala khams, that Islam is established on 5 things. The first of those things, Shahada and La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. So again, regarding showing the importance regarding Aqidah. And also the hadith of Jibreel alayhi salam, where he asked concerning of those things that he asked regarding those important things. First, what is Islam? Maratib ad-Din, what is Islam? What is Iman? Or what is Ihsan? So again, concerning that, asking those important questions, and those things are the core of Islam, the core teaching of Islam regarding what is Islam, what is Iman, what is and also what is Ihsan. So Iman relating to the person's inner belief, the person belief. So that's concerning the importance, also adillah, proving the importance of Aqidah. And also concern the benefit, the thamara of the benefit regarding studying of Aqidah. The one concern that is for the person to enter Jannah, that a person must be upon sound Aqidah. So of the criteria to enter Al-Jannah is the person being upon sound Aqidah. And having fault and errors in the person, or misguidance and misunderstanding of personal Aqidah, and corruption in the personal Aqidah, it could be of the reason for the person to enter An-Nar, whether forever or temporarily. So a person may be of Ahlus Sunnah but fall into sin and have error in the Aqidah, so is open to be punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So of those people under Mashiatillah, because of corruption in one's Aqidah, still Muslim, but is corrupted in the Aqidah. Also of those things regarding Al-Iman, that so it shows regarding also to help the person regarding the protection from Al-Bidah. So the soundness in the person's Aqidah will aid the person and protect the person from against Bidah and misguidance. So the person not easily swayed into misguidance and attracted to misguidance, because the soundness is in his Aqidah, where he's able to repel those things of Al-Bidah wal-Khurafat. Also help the person regarding istiqamah. It helps the person regarding al-istiqamah, regarding the person being upon, be able to practice Islam correctly, is because the person Aqidah is sound. So it protects him, so it aids the person regarding those things. So that's concerning the importance regarding some of those things that show the importance regarding Aqidah. Next thing that we'll discuss concerning that certain books. So you have many books that have been written concerning Aqidah. We have somewhat cited some of those books were mentioned regarding the different names of Aqidah, concerning those names. So we mentioned that many books have been written regarding Aqidah. You have a discussion regarding those of the ulama, and bahithun, and those of the who have written regarding concerning what they refer to as Tariq Ilm al-Aqidah, regarding concerning Tariq Tadween Ilm Aqidah. So you have of the ulama and Mashaykh wa Talabat al-Ilm who have written on the topic regarding a tariq, considered an history of the books related to Aqidah, books that have been written on the topic of Aqidah in specific. So as a topic by itself, book written specific to Aqidah, that they have kind of somewhat tried to trace back the history regarding those books written on the topic of Aqidah. and also on the way of the way of Manhaj al-Salaf. So you find that based upon what they have written, you have of different things that have been mentioned regarding concerning of the early books to be written regarding Aqidah. So you find that, so that's concerning that discussion regarding concerning that matter. As for the early books that have been written on topics of Aqidah, but we'll find many books that have been written regarding Aqidah. So you should have, but still overall that we have many books that have been written regarding Aqidah. So of those books, As-Sunnah li Abdullah, Ibn Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Aqidah At-Tahawiyah, Sharh Sunnah li Barbahari, Lumat al-I'tiqad, Al-Aqidah Al-Wasatiyah, who have written concerning matters in Aqidah. So you find that many books written on Aqidah, but also you find that the ulama, they have different manahij, different ways in which they have written on the topic of Aqidah. So you have different approaches that have been used regarding writing on the topic of Aqidah. So regarding concern the ulama, that so you find several ways or systems that have been followed regarding books written on the topic of Aqidah. So you find regarding that those books that discuss Aqidah in general. So you find of those methods in compiling books in Aqidah, books that are covered Aqidah in general. So of those books, as we mentioned, Aqidah Tahawiyah, the books Sharh Sunnah li Barbahari, Lumat al-I'tiqad by Ibn Qudam al-Maqdisi, also Aqidah al-Wasatiyah to some extent. This book, the Aqidah of Ibn Abi Zayd Al-Qayrawani, also in general, but muqtasar. So you find of those books that kind of give an overview of the main points, or some of the main points of Aqidah. So those books are more. Then you have certain books that are more specific regarding matter relating to a particular topic, a set topic regarding At-Tawheed and the likes. So you find particular books that have been written. And also you find that books also written regarding refutation, books and written regarding refutation and the like. So you find that books also in refuting certain erroneous views that have been taken by some of the Muslims and to clarify the correct position. So of those books, Ar-Rad ala man yaqul al-Quran makhluq. Ar-Rad ala man yaqul al-Quran makhluq by Abu Bakr Baghdadi al-Hanbali. So by Abu Bakr Baghdadi al-Hanbali, who died 348 al-Hijri, 348 al-Hijri. And also other books. Also you have Ar-Rad ala Jahmiyah by Ibn Manda, and other books that have been written regarding refutation of the ulama of past. So as concerning matters relating to Aqidah, you find books also written on that topic in specific. So that's concerning of those matters pertaining. That after those matters pertaining to Aqidah that we try to is regarding Masadir at-Talaqi. What are the sources that one will refer back to in studying of Aqidah? What are the sort of person that can be used regarding Aqidah? So regarding concerning those sources regarding Aqidah, that it goes back primarily, as the ulama mentioned, regarding that one, the source is reliable source and refer as a reference regarding Aqidah will be one, Kitabullah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so the Quran. Second, of the reference sources for Aqidah, or the adillah that can be used where we take our Aqidah from, would be Quran. Second, of those masadir would be As-Sunnah As-Sahiha, so authentic Sunnah. That's the second. So As-Sunnah As-Sahiha, going back to the Prophet ﷺ regarding what he have mentioned regarding points in Aqidah, and we use it, and that is used as a primary source. Whether that hadith is mutawatir or whether the hadith is ahad, the fact that the hadith is authentic, it can be used as a source. And that between Ahlus Sunnah ijma. So between Ahlus Sunnah ijma, that they don't make do not differentiate between what is said to be a hadith mutawatir and hadith ahad. And this kind of somewhat that Ahlus Sunnah do not make that distinction. We got a hadith coming with many narration, or hadith coming with several narration. Ahlus Sunnah, they accept that any hadith that is authentic, fulfill the criteria of authenticity, thubut, then it can be used regarding Aqidah. And the third, al-ijma. The third of those, al-ijma. So ijma, the ulama mentioning concerning the ijma, those things that the ulama have agreed upon. So concerning that, those things that the ulama have agreed upon, so a unanimous consensus on a matter, which is al-ijma and al-ittifaq, al-mujtahideen, an agreement between the mujtahidun, an agreement regarding the mujtahideen, those ulama who have reached a level of ijtihad, of the highest level of scholarship in Islam. So those who have reached that level, al-amrin min ummat Muhammad, that they are ulama, they are from this ummah of Muhammad alayhi salam, they are Muslim, and also al-amrin min umuri deen, on a matter which is of the matters regarding a point on deen. So those are concerning al-ijma. So ittifaq al-mujtahideen min ummat Muhammad alayhi salam ala amrin dini fi ay asr min usur. So that's concerning al-ijma. So if there's an agreement on a matter, then between the ulama of Islam, then that can, on a matter of aqidah, then that becomes a source. But ulama, they put some regarding this ijma, that is ijma in reference to the Sahaba, wa tabi'in, wa taba'a tabi'in, as-salaf. So regarding ijma, in matter of aqidah, they will go back to the time period of the salaf. So whatever the salaf that they agreed upon, first the Sahaba, after the death of the Prophet Islam, then that's an ijma, and a matter of in aqidah. Or the tabi'in. So the tabi'in agreed upon a matter in aqidah, then that becomes hujjah, a source. And third, atba' tabi'in, and also the followers of the Sahaba. So the followers of the tabi'in. If those first three generations agree upon a point in aqidah, then it serves as a proof. As mentioned by Ibn Taymiyyah, after then you find that the groups, many groups start to emerge and start to have their books that they start to write regarding codifying their ideas, and some of those ideas at time contradict what were previously established. And those three concern that they said no, al-masadir al-asliya. So those three, al-kitab, wa-sunnah, wal-ijma of the Salaf al-Salih, that's the masadir al-asliya regarding aqidah. As for masadir al-far'iyya, then you have certain masadir that is used as secondary sources regarding that you have other sources that are said to be secondary sources regarding al-fitra and also al-aql al-salim. So of those secondary sources regarding that al-aql al-salim, muwafiq lil-kitab wa sunnah, and also al-fitra, the person under his natural state, then those are secondary sources in matters concerning aqidah. So as we mentioned that concerning Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, regarding concerning aqidah, so those are some points regarding this topic, regarding dirasa or madkhal fi dirasa al-ilm al-aqidah. So as we mentioned, this is an open that we'll start with. So one is clear regarding the approach that to be followed regarding the study of aqidah. So this is just some of those points that relates. There's other things that these are some of the points that relates to the study of aqidah. So that being said, that as we mentioned, that we'll have a weekly session to cover one of the books in aqidah. And this is the book is available in English, but also one of those books that are considered to be reliable regarding outlining the aqidah of Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah. And this book, this book is available in English. So we'll be covering concerning this particular book. Main concern is that the creed of Ibn Abi Zayd Al-Qayrawani. So one of the ulama of Tunis or that region, or they said North Africa, who wrote a Risalah that is called Al-Risalah, Al-Risalah. But in this Risalah, as we'll discuss, that he mentioned certain points in Aqidah, in the Muqaddimah. So in the introduction of this Risalah, that covers several topics. But of those things that he covered first is regarding points relating to Aqidah. So this has been taken out and has been explained by many. And is said to clarify some of the fundamental practice regarding Aqidah. And this particular Risalah is to, that of these points, is to establish and clarify those things that Ahlus Sunnah were known for and upon regarding matters in Aqidah, and also to distinguish them from Ahlul Bidah. So of these points, to make a distinction between Ahlus Sunnah and Ahlul Bidah regarding some of these points, and to confirm what is expected that every Muslim should be upon regarding his belief. So we'll be covering this particular thesis regarding Aqidah to clarify certain points that we'll be using. It has many explanations. We're using this explanation with some additional notes. So with additional notes regarding some of the points that I mentioned, but we'll be studying concerning the Aqidah of Ibn Abi Zayd, rahimahullah, tabaraka ta'ala. So the next session that will be covering concerning the introduction of this book by way of a brief biography of the author, Ibn Abi Zayd, rahimahullah, and also matter regarding the Sharih, the one who have explained this book, who is Sheikh An-Najmi, rahimahullah, and also certain other points related to the book, and then to begin regarding studying of this book in Aqidah. So this inshallah ta'ala, so that's concerning the conclusion regarding this session. So what we have covered today concerning that's an introduction regarding how to go about and points and principles regarding studying Aqidah. And of those things we discussed concerning what is Aqidah. We discussed concerning of those points, so the names that are synonymous to Aqidah, other names that are used, the virtue, Aqidah, study of Aqidah and its virtues. Also, the things that are covered, mawdu'at, Aqidah, what will be the topics that are studied in Aqidah in brief. Also, alaqa, the relation between Aqidah and other Islamic sciences. Also, the hukum, studying of Aqidah, and also teaching Aqidah. And also, matter regarding tariq tadween, kutub Aqidah, that concerning the process of writing, the ulama starting the process of writing matters concerning Aqidah. And the ulama, they wrote concerning matters of Aqidah, that is answered for reasons. As we'll add this before, the reason of writing books in Aqidah, one, that ulama concerned that, to clarify the correct Aqidah stance the Muslims have based upon what was established amongst the Salaf. So a way of clarification, wa tawdih, wal bayan. So one, to clarify and to reinforce what is expected to be the belief of the Muslim as established by the Salaf al-Salih. Also, that to refute regarding those ideas that are foreign to Islam. Ideas that are foreign to Islam. So, of those reasons regarding, so a form of to refute and certain mis-ideas that some of the Muslims may have adopted regarding matters concerning Aqidah. So it is based upon those reasons. So we have to clarify, and we also to establish and also to refute. Also to refute erroneous ideas that some of the Muslims may have adopted. So that inshallah ta'ala will end this first sitting regarding as an introduction to study the book. They refer to it as a creed, but it was Al-Risalah or Muqaddimah Ibn Abi Zayd Al-Qayrawani rahimahullah, tabaraka ta'ala. And we said the next session we'll start to go through the things that we had mentioned as going forward regarding this particular book. So that inshallah ta'ala will end here. وبالله تعالى توفيق وهذه إلى السبيل والآخرة والحمد لله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.